economics and cultural self-determination. So the right to the economic and social development and the right to clean and the healthy and environment, etc. So climate change problems pose a number of the risks to the human rights. That is right to life in the modern time. That is right to human rights to climate change टा एबे threaten करूची को aspect right to life, right to health, food and housing. ये सब कुछ से threaten करूची. So a human rights approach tries to look at the people who lives and are most affected by the climate disaster. Climate change ପାଇଁ ଆମ ବହୁତ ସାरे human rights ଗୁଡାକ threaten ହେବାକୁ ଲାଗିଛି. So all these are the types of the human rights. Now we'll read human rights at international level. ये तीन rights रे काहर किसी problem रहिला कि
मैम solidarity rights टा उथरे
solidarity rights are actually group rights. Group rights जेमति कि आमे आगो जो इकोनॉमिक सोशल राइट्स हो कि पॉलिटिकल राइट्स सेटा हो सेटा गोटे इंडिविजुअल को बिलोंग्स करूथिला नै कि किंतु ए सॉलिडारिटी और ग्रुप राइट्स टा गोटे ग्रुप्स ऑफ द पीपल मान को बिलोंग्स करे. तो सेटा फॉर एग्जांपल जे क्लाइमेट चेंज टा है क्लाइमेट चेंज द प्रॉब्लम जो को इंडिविजुअल जो थ्रेट टा पाइबो सेटा गोटे कोन सिंगल इंडिविजुअल को प्रॉब्लम रे पकेइबो कि सेटा ग्रुप्स ऑफ द पीपल समस्त को थ्रेट रे पकेइबो नै कि बुझी हला. सो आमे ए जगह रे नेक्स्ट आमे पढिबा ह्यूमन राइट्स एट इंटरनेशनल लेवल. इंटरनेशनल लेवल रे ह्यूमन राइट्स टा केमति हिसाब रे आमे पालन करा जाउची कि ट्रीटीज एग्रीमेंट गुडा को निया जाउची सेटा आमे एबे पढिबा. So human rights at international level. The United Nations, after the establishment of the United Nations, efforts have been made by different regimes, different international regimes for the promotion and protection and safeguarding of the human rights through different treaties, different institutions and different laws. है तो ये जगह सिविल सोसाइटी एक्टर्स गुड़ा को भी डोमेस्टिक एक्टर्स एज वेल एज इंटरनेशनल लेवल एक्टर्स गुड़ा को डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ ट्रीटीज एग्रीमेंट्स गुड़ा को गठन करिबारे सहायता होइतिले. तो ए क्षेत्र रे द यूनाइटेड नेशन रे यूनिवर्सल डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ द ह्यूमन राइट्स आर जरा भी सेंट्रल फोकस एटा तयारी हेतिला. तो सो इन द इयर्स 1945 रे यूएन चार्टर हैज अर्ज्ड यूनिवर्सल रेस्पेक्ट and observation of the human rights and the fundamental freedoms, individual fundamental freedoms taku respect debare सहायता हेतिला. So however the shortcomings, there are different type of the shortcomings of the universal declaration of the human rights that are overcome in the year 1948 because the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights, it is not a legal body. It is not a legally binding treaty. So it is seen as a part of the customary international law. कि not a legally binding treaty माने इटा कि चाहिले किछि रूल्स रेगुलेशंस नाही एटा किछि फोर्स नाही सेरा जने पालन करिवो से ट्रीटी एग्रीमेंट साइन करिवो कि करिवो. तो एई जगह रे कोन हला then two different type of the covenants were adopted in the year 1966. Eta se duita covenant rona hela the international covenant on civil and the political rights and second hela the international covenant on economic, social and the cultural rights. Se duita covenant kebe sign hela 1966 and this made the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights a legally binding human rights law. जेमती आगु सेटा लीगली बाइंडिंग नथिला ए जगह रे दुईटा साइन हला परे यूडीएचआर बनला ए लीगली बाइंडिंग ह्यूमन राइट्स लॉ. So the UDHR along with these two covenants are generally called UDHR सहित ICCPR and ICESCR ये दुईटा मिसी करी इंटरनेशनल बिल ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स ए माने नामित होते. So the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, it recognizes the inherent dignity of all the individuals. मनुष्यर आंतर्जातिक dignity ଅଛି ତାକୁ ତା respect ଦେଲା and attempts were made to promote condition with the state so that their citizens can enjoy civil and political attempts କାହିଁ ପାଇଁ କରାଗଲା state level ରେ country level ରେ citizens ମାନେ civil and the political right ପାଇବାରୁ ଯେମିତି deprived ନ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ then apart from this the international covenant of economic social and the cultural rights जो साइन ହେଇଥିଲା ଏତାର କମିଟମେଣ୍ଟ କ'ଣ ଥିଲା ତାର କମିଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା to promote social progress and better standard of the life जो कंट्री गुडाकटा साइन କରିଛନ୍ତି ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ସେ ପିପୁल्स गुडाको ସେମାନେ କେମିତି କରି ତାଙ୍କର social progress କରିବେ and they are in a position to enjoy a better standard of the life. So here some rights are not part of the UDHR and find mentioned in the International Covenant of the Economic and the Social and the Cultural Rights. Data rights of the peoples of the self-determination and the rights of the ethnic, religious and linguistic minorities to enjoy their culture, practice and their religions and their languages. And apart from this, all forms of the racial discrimination गुड़ाको हमें देखा पाऊँ in the international field. So there are a number of the 4 international human rights instruments that include the International Convention on Elimination of all forms of the racial discriminations. It data signed in 1965. Then Convention on Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women signed in 1979. Then optional protocols of the Convention Against Torture was signed in 2002. And the Convention on the Rights of the Person with Disability was signed in 2006. So, here, putting more emphasis on the implementation of the human rights, the UN established the Office of the UN High Commissioners. Better implementation of the human rights, UN here established the Office of the UN High Commissioners for the UN High Commissioners for the Human Rights that was in the year 1990. So its mandate, its mandate is to protect and promote human rights against the international law. International field and international rules and the regulations to aggregate human rights violate. So here the High Commissioner has to protect and promote all civil, political, economic, social and the cultural rights and to provide advisory services माने उपदेश भी देइथांती से उपदेश देइथांती केतिकरी human rights टा violate न हो and apart from this they also provide financial and technical assistance in the areas of the human rights of the states they request for it जो माने request करिवे से माने तांको human rights केतिकरी violate न हो तांको state रे से माने तांको advice भी देइथांती and here also they also try to promote and coordinate activities related to the human rights in the UN system. So the UN also established human rights councils in 2006 and this human rights council it replaced UN human rights commissions in 2006. So under the guidance of the UN Human Rights Council was established in 2006 and it replaced the UN Human Rights Commission in 2006. And it has no authority apart from making recommendations to the General Assembly. The कामोंटा हैला इटा खाली General Assembly को recommendation देबो तारा किसी practically किसी कामो ना. So a number of the non-governmental or organizations like NGOs they also took part for the promotions and protections of the human rights. Amnesty International, then Human Rights Watch and Human Rights Action Center. They are one type of the NGOs and they are working for the protection of the human rights in international field. And they also promote human rights by direct assistance, collecting accurate information and comparing and lobbying by educating and they also provide awareness about human rights violations. And apart from this, action has been also taken by different regional levels bodies for the protection of the human rights in the Europe, Africa, West Asia, America, Southeast Asia. UN member in the year 2005, United Nations members mane 2005 they recognized the principles of the responsibilities to protect the responsibility to protect R2P, responsibility to protect, under which states have responsibility to protect their populations against human rights. Apart from this, they also try to protect the populations from the human rights violations like genocides, war, and the ethnic rising. Ethnic conflict is ଜାଗାରୁ ସେମାନେ protection କରିବା ପାଇଁ different type of the advice ଦେଇଥାନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଏସବୁ human rights violations କେମିତି international children ନ ହେବ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟାନୁଷ୍ଠାନ ନେଇଥାନ୍ତି. So all these are about human rights. Then in our last unit, that is unit 15, and in this unit we'll read about multiculturalism and tolerance. Multiculturalism and tolerance. What is multiculturalism? What is multiculturalism? Different type of the culture, different type of the language of peoples mane all world रे पास करिथान. So cultural diversities जो अच्छी, all this is posing a challenges to states around the world as various governments are facing demands on the cultural minorities for recognition. Cultural minorities जो माने अछंती ସେମାନେ ताकर recognition चाहुचंती, separation भी चाहुचंती, and protection of their political as well as economic autonomy, जो स्वतंत्रता ସେମାନେ केमती करी protect करबे सेटा ସେମାନେ भी चाहुचंती. So there has been a rise of the cultural diversities in the various countries due to a number of the factors. The disintegration of the USSR, that is the demise of the communism in the Eastern Europe, leading to the demands of the nationalism in the East European countries, and the rise in the attraction of the communitarianism thinking from the year 1980s, and then the increase in the Muslim immigrants of the to the Western Europe in 1970s. The Muslim immigrants from Western Europe who migrated in the 1970s, and emergence of the indigenous peoples movements, and they demand correction of the historical injustice created out of them. So different type of the diversity टा अच्छी, तो छोट बड़े different type of the problems गुड़ाको in the society हमें face କରିବାକୁ ବାଧ୍ୟ ହେଇଥାଉ. So as a result, numbers of the questions are unavoidable in the political theory. That the role of the state in dealing with such type of the cultural diversity. What is the role of the state in dealing with the cultural diversities? To limit the tolerations. Tolerations टा ରହିବା. तो toleration न रहले हमें cultural diversity टा ठीक भाବରେ balance करि पारिबा. Then the nature of the citizenship and the rights of the women are also provides. So the critical aspects have been explained on in the subsequent paragraph. Then here now we will read the culture and the identity. Culture जो कोन identity factors टा आसु. So here हमें multiculturalism टा जानिबार आगु it is important to know about the issue of the culture and the identity. Culture and identity first हमें जानिबा, then हमें जानि पारिबा कि what is multiculturalism. So this culture and the identity is it is multiculturalism रो the flows the dhara होते. So in a macro sense, culture is the way of the life. What is culture? Culture is the way of the life for the people. It is the life for the people, their values, beliefs, and the practices. So there is the difference between the culture and the nature. Culture is based on the generations to the other by learning rather than through biological inheritance. And learning जनक थारु culture टा केमती करे adopt हिथाई by socialization. ताथरु हमें जानी करी हमें से culture को adopt करता and by through biological inheritance. So culture here encompasses the tradition, religion, language, moral principles, and the social norms. Identity kono identity politics ta kono identity politics or politics of the differences. Identity politics ta kono this politics of the differences is increasing recognition of the cultural differences in the society. ଯେତେବେଳେ different type of the culture the peoples ମାନେ ସେଇ society ରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସମସ୍ତେ ନିଜର identity factor ଟାକୁ ଆଖି ଆଗରେ ନେଇକରି କାମ କରିବେ ନିଜର ପରିଚୟ ସେମାନେ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବେ. So the concept of the culture is the center or central aspect to the multicultural. So different meanings have been attached to the culture by different theories, and this shaped the idea of the multiculturalism. Different type of the culture गुड़ाक society रे अछि and समस्ते गुटे identity निजर स्वतंत्रता निजर परिचय खोजुछन. So सेई जगह आमे multiculturalism concept टा आसला. So your identity is a sense of identity. It is a sense of the unique and the separate selfhood, swatantrata, and sees the individual embodied in a particular culture in a social context. So identity may be multiple, like gender, religion, ethnicity, and identity is equated to the difference as awareness of the different and further, and it manifested a sense of the identity. Different about the gender issue, religious issue, cultural issue, belief, something is a origin, and this leads to a politics of the recognition, manyata खोजुछन. So here, thereby, the meaning of the differences should be embraced. समस्ते जेतेबेले निजर मल्टी डाइवर्स हिकरे अछंती मल्टी कल्चर हिकरे अछंती आ समस्ते निजर स्वतंत्र मीनिंग तो ए जगह रे हमें डिफरेंस टा को जेतेबेले कोएक्जिस्ट न करिबा मिस्टेक न देबा जेतेबेले ठीक करे एंड ऑल ठीक भाबरे सोसाइटी को मेंटेन करी हेबो नाही. So here all these differences should be embraced and all these differences should be welcome concept here. Then from here the concept of the multiculturalism arises. So what is the meaning of the multiculturalism? Multiculturalism कहले कोन? So आमे देखु सोसाइटी रे जो डाइवर्सिटी concept गुडा अछि and cultural diversity has been a feature of the various societies for a long. So different dialects and the tradition existence. So ancient Greece, पुरातन जुगरु different type of the tradition dialects रही आसु. So in the Ottoman Empire, minorities people like the Christian Jews existed apart from Muslims, who were the majority at that time. Ottoman Empire. So in the contemporary world, there are countries like the India, Canada, US, UK, New Zealand, France, and here there was also here also cultural diversity is the main issue. So due to all these factors mentioned here and cultural diversity has increased around the world. It is a country issue different type of the country cultural diversity da achi. And it is highly homogeneous countries like Japan, and they were becoming a rare example. So diversity can be of many types. There are different types of diversity. Religious diversity, diversity based on locations, diversity based on language, and racial diversity. So religious diversity ta kono? Buji hoji any type of the problem, student?
आज्ञा मिस.
होची तो? So religious diversity ta kono? India is a good example of a country with various religious culture. अच्छी different type of the religions गुड़ा को अच्छी because we are living in a secular country. So the religious group often differentiate from each other through different type of the factors like dress, food habit, public holidays, festival practice, and different type of the festivals celebrations से माने କରୁଛନ୍ତି. नहीं different type of the religious community का people माने different type of the festival पालन କରୁଛନ୍ତି. तो ये अगर हमें religious diversity टा देखिବାକୁ then diversity based on location कहले कोन बुझो? There are many groups who see themselves as a distinct from other people because of their location. For example, UK रे Scots distinguish themselves. Scots गुटे sex गुटे जाति गुटे सेमाने को जगह रहिबे सेमाने अलगा को जगह रे due to their locations in the north, although their culture is not significantly different from the others. सेटा भी सेमाने देखि UK रे एबो नॉर्दर्न UK रे सेमाने तो एई जगह रे सेमाने लोकेशंस दृष्टि तांकर आइडेंटिटी टा क्रिएट करी तारिबे. लिंग्विस्टिक डाइवर्सिटी टा कोन लैंग्वेज इज other factors different about the language of people ମାନେ ବସବାସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି and ଯେମିତି କି ହଁ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆରେ ବି different about the language of people ମାନେ ବାସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଚାଇନାରେ then ୟୁଏସ ରେ କାନାଡାରେ ସ୍ପେନରେ ଗୋଟେ common issue. Then what is racial diversity ତା କଣ existence of the different physical features gives rise to the diversity based on the race जगह race. So however these differences should be led to a common identity. Then differences then groups from the other. ଯେମିତି କି କଳା ଧଳା ଭେଦଭାବ. And one example is ଯେମିତି କି ଥିଲା race has limited role in the multicultural discourse. South Africa, India during the time of the British period. पूरा कला भेदभाव ମାନେ racial distinction, racial diversity ଟା ରହି ଆସୁଅଛି in the world. So here ଆମେ multiculturalism को या ସହିତ relate କରିବା. Different about the diversity different about the culture जो ଅଛି तो ए ଜାଗାରେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମର multiculturalism appear in the political theory in the year 1970s and 1980s when it was used to denote it stems from public policy away from the assimilation of the different ethnic minorities, immigrants towards integration and acceptance of the different diverse culture. Se jagare multiculturalism is in different countries like Canada and Australia. So in the US also this multiculturalism started in 1980s. US started 1980s. In the context of how the education system should respond to the cultural diversity. So here the term multiculturalism used to describe a society. Multiculturalism multiculturalism is used to describe a society in which different cultures can coexist. To society different type of the cultures like coexist with multicultural society or multi-diverse society. And it signifies attempts to balance diversity against cohesion. So multiculturalism not only recognizes cultural diversity, but also advocates that such differences should be respected. जो सोसाइटी रे डिफरेंसेस गुडा को अछि ताकू आमे सम्मान मिले में को हबो ताकू हमर टॉलरेशंस आनिबा को हबो आमे ताकू सोहिबा को पड़िबो. So there should be tolerations, but multiculturalism not only recognizes cultural diversity but also advocates that such differences should be respected. The differences को respect देबा को पड़िबो and publicly affirm. So it means respect of the cultural differences and does not favor assimilation of the minority culture into dominant one. यार minority culture अछि ताको भी सम्मान देबा को पड़िबो ताको भी टॉलरेंस आनिबा को पड़िबो माने डोमिनेट कल्चर को जो हमर माइनॉरिटी कल्चर को अंडरमाइन करा जाई पारिबो नाही. So instead of seeking a meeting plot in which minority group assimilate into the majority culture, minority culture को majority तो मिसै दिया जीवन minority माने minority ताकर culture को लोगन majority माने majority culture को लोगन सर to some extent हमको कोन करिबा को हेबो टॉलरेंस आनिबा को ए जगह हेबो ताहले जे कि सोसाइटी रे हमें ठीक भाबरे पीस टा एन्जॉय करि पारिबा. So here we will discuss models of the multiculturalism. Multiculturalism टा बुझियला concept टा or any problem बुझियला तो there are different models of the multiculturalism. तम कुछ रे आसी पारे what is multiculturalism, then तमे तार किछि introduction टा देइकरी then models of multiculturalism तम आसी पारे. So here multiculturalism रे कोन हो डाइवर्सिटी एलाबोरेट करिबो डिफरेंट ऑफ द डाइवर्सिटी तार मीनिंग्स टा देन मॉडल्स ऑफ द मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म तम लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन आस पारे सो there are two types of the multiculturalism गुटे होची strong and the weak. The strong multiculturalism is centered on the group identity and group risks, and it gives rights to the groups over its members. That is strong multiculturalism. कोण एटा कोण centered on the group identity गुटे group ର identity अछि then it protects the group rights. So the central problem of the strong multiculturalism is injustice among different groups. Main problem ta kon injustice different groups injustice भी है that is the central things of the multiculturalism. So on the other hand I let Sacker से कहि जाई छंती the weak multiculturalism it focuses on intra group complexity से जगह जेंती group identity ଭିତରେ କିଛି injustice होती है जगह weak multiculturalism ता जो अछि intra group complexity and economics group ଭିତରେ କିଛି problem होची ଭିତରେ माने and here the weak multiculturalism जगह they mainly focus on how to harmonize individual with group rights. How to harmonize individual with group rights. Individual man को harmony established. So according to Andrew Hewitt, there are three main models of the multiculturalism. First, liberal multiculturalism, then pluralistic multiculturalism, then cosmopolitan multiculturalism. Then here, first, what is liberal multiculturalism? Liberal multiculturalism पहले कौन? Liberal multiculturalism it your commitment to the individual freedom and the tolerance. Main thing हला कहाँ पे से माने फोकस करी थांती liberal multiculturalism. Liberal एस्पेक्ट जते बेले तमे आसला liberalism concept. जते बेले obviously they are trying to protect the rights, freedoms and the tolerance of the individuals. A concept as individual is one center replaced for freedom. So freedom and the tolerations are two hallmarks of the liberalism. Liberal multiculturalism. So toleration is a willingness to allow existence and expression of the rival views. What is toleration? Toleration is toleration is willingness to allow existence and expression of the rival views. प्रतिद्वंदी रो views को भी हमें सहिबा को पड़िबो, tolerate करिबा को पड़िबो, सम्मान देबा को पड़िबो. So liberalism gives an individual the right to choose his or her beliefs, cultural practices, and the way of the life. अन्य जनकर cultural practices, the beliefs, को सम्मान देबा को पड़िबो. So toleration extends to the values, views, and social practices that are compatible with autonomy and personal freedom. So practices such as the post marriages type of the practices, this will not be endorsed by liberal multiculturalism, and they are because they are against the individual freedom. अगर individual freedom टा को बेसी मात्रा रे गुरुत्वपूर्ण दिया जाए है. And here also they combine liberal values of the equality and autonomy with the values of the cultural members. So all these are main things of liberal multiculturalism. Apart from this, here the membership of a culture is an important condition of the personal autonomy of the people. The people टे जेते बेले गुटे members केमती करी परिगणित हेबो जे जेते बेले गुटे different type of the culture रो गुटे membership because cultural identity the culture जदी तार से जागर तार identity पाइ पाइ. So different type of the this society रे different type of the culture रो people मान भी liberal multiculturalism जगह रे जे जिते टाइप रो कल्चर ले भी आमे सब कल्चर को ठीक भाबरे टॉलरेशन करिबा अन्यर कल्चर अन्यर ट्रेडिशंस एबु आमे सम्मान देखा पड़ो देयर शुड बी टॉलरेशन एंड it should not be against the individual freedom. Liberal multiculturalism बुझियला or any problem?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମିସ୍।
बुझियला?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ।
Okay. Then pluralistic multiculturalism. Pluralistic multiculturalism टा कौन? Pluralistic multiculturalism means actually your cultural diversity. Cultural diversity माने कौन? Different about the cultures the people गुड़ा को society रे बसवास करूँ. So cultural diversity is based on value pluralism. Pluralistic society रे the different about the culture the people माने बसवास करूँ. So this is an idea that there are many values which are equally correct and fundamental, although they may be contradiction to it. Different type of the pluralistic tradition थिले भी, different of the contradictions थिले भी, हमें सेटा को केमती करी coexistence करी society रे करी. That is pluralistic multiculturalism. So Isaac Berlin से कौन कही गले? Isaac Berlin is one of the main proponent of the idea of the value pluralism. So in view of the liberals, in view of the liberal views like personal freedom, इस जगह रे personal freedom, democracy have no great moral autonomy. जेमती कि तमे जो liberal traditions बोलतो, जो liberal multiculturalism रे individual रो personal freedom को सम्मान दिया गला, individual रो personal freedom and democratic principle को सम्मान दिया गला. Here pluralistic multiculturalism रे they have no greater moral autonomy than their rival beliefs. So here, this result in lives and let lives type of the let things. इस जगह रे जन को results in live and let the other person to live. जने बंचु आउ जन को बंचु को दिया. This is one type of the multiculturalism. So however, Isaac Berlin was of the view that value pluralism can exist only within a society that respects individual freedom. Value pluralism को society कहिबो जो society रे individual रो freedom को ठीक भाबरे respect दिया जाओ. So here Isaac Berlin also he could not prove how liberal and illiberal cultures could coexist in the same society. जगह रे liberal culture गुटे होचे आउटर illiberal culture. सेटा केमती करी coexist करिबो से ऊपरे कोही से कोही नहांती. Then one of the other thinker बाकू पारी से कही गले he also given his views on the pluralistic multiculturalism. बाकू पारी कोन कही जायछंती? He argues that multiculturalism is neither a political doctrine nor a philosophical school. It is not a philosophical school. एटा गोटे political doctrine भी नुहे, एटा गोटे philosophical school भी नुहे. Instead it is perspective on the way of the human life. Human lives माने केमती करी society रे बसवास करी. It is a way of the human life and it has three central tenets. First, human beings are culturally embodied and they grow and live within a culturally structured world. Culture को हमको embrace करिबा को पड़ाइबा because we are living in a society and a society रे different type of the cultures रो people माने grow करूछंती रही आसुछंती. So their thoughts are deeply shaped by culture. से माने जहाँ भाबुछंती ताकर जहाँ करूछंती all these are shaped by culture and they can be overcome but not all its influences. ता केमती कर overcome केभे करा जाई पारिबो कि पूरा मात्रा रे overcome करा जाई पारिबो नाही किंतु किछि मात्रा रे influence टा भी रही थिबो. So here second differences second tenets कहूची different cultures have different meanings of the good life. Good life कहले कोन बुझो different about the cultures of people माने different about the views गुडा को देखि. So here third view कहला culture is internally plural. Its different strands of the thoughts are continuous. Conversion and hence its identity is fluid, open and the plural. Culture भी जहाँ है थाउ ते internally से माने plural हिकरी वचन. Internally not single, internally they are plural. And obviously different strands of the thoughts are continuous. Their conversation. So Identity is the fluid, open and the plural. जो हमें परिचय खोजुछु परिचय को लेकरी एटा भी fluid, one type of the thoroughly. Then it is open to the every sections of the society, and it is plural thing. All these are pluralistic multiculturalism. Then cosmopolitan multiculturalism. Cosmopolitan multiculturalism kono? It celebrates diversity, as each culture can learn from others. Different of the cultures of the people माने अछंती ए जगह रे डाइवर्सिटी को बेसी मात्रा रे प्राधान्य दिया जाउची. डाइवर्सिटी बिसरा अनदे करूनी. It celebrates the diversity of each culture and can learn from other, and prospects of the self-development are offered a world of the wider cultural opportunities and lifestyle choices. So it includes exploitation of the different cultures options from an individual perspective. कौन करूची? Different type of the exploitation of the different cultural options, different type of the जेतु culture or society ର people माने बसबास करूछंती. एटा सेटा को सम्मान दोउची, एटा को ओपोज करू नाही. So cosmopolitan multiculturalism embraces the idea of the multiple identity, and it is argued that irrespective of the different cultural origins, the peoples share their same planet. Different type of the cultures ताकर different type of the peoples observe करूथिले भी से माने एक गोटिए planet रे रही आसुछंती and are facing similar experiences and the challenges. से माने जेतु गोटे पृथ्वी रे बसवास करूछंती, गोटे planet रे बसवास करूछंती, से माने similar experiences face करूछंती and similar challenges से माने face करूछंती. Global consciousness and the ideas of the cosmopolitanism is running thread in this type of the multiculturalism. जेतिबाई global consciousness and ideas of the cosmopolitanism हमें समस्ते एक विश्वर जहाँ होउची समस्ते से गुटे जगह को हमें फेस करू. So all these are cosmopolitan multiculturalism. Any doubts about the types of the multiculturalism? Is it doubts ଅଛି कि types of the multiculturalism?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then how would thinking such a multiculturalism ro second way of writing, second waves of the writing. There have been two waves of the writings on the multiculturalism. Multiculturalism ro duita type of the waves achi. The first wave discusses differences among various cultural groups. Different type of the cultural groups. The differences of the first wave the multiculturalism discusses. And here the debate is centered on the relevance of the different sensitive policies in a liberal context. The first wave the multiculturalism ta कोन कहला? Different type of the cultural group अछंती society रे, and different type of the sensitive policies गुडा को तांकर अख्तियार रे आसु, and all these are liberal context रे discuss करा. So some liberals have defended this policy while others argue that they deviate from the core value of the liberal. They undermine the notions of the equality of the individual rights and the equal treatment. Actually, ये माने खूब बेसी मात्रा रे ट्रेस देली equality of the individual rights and equality of the individual treatment. So the second wave that writers are not concerned about the justice among the various groups. First wave रे से माने actually सब individual मानकर justice दिया जाओ. That is they actually second wave ta they are not concerned about the justice among the various groups within the groups. They analyze the policies that protect minority cultural rights and their impact on groups members. The second wave of first wave of second wave भितर देखो first wave टा कोन कहला actually differences ता cultural groups माने cultural groups मध्ये रे अछि, and this is the center of the relevance of the different sensitive policies in the liberal context को माने बेसी मात्रा रे stress दे. So some liberals से माने कोन कहले they defended the policy while other argued that they deviate from the core values of the liberalism. Liberalism ର core value ଠାରୁ ସେମାନେ ଦୂରରେ ରହି ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ହେଲେ ବି they undermine the notion of the individual equality and equal treatment. And second waves actually they are not concerned about the justice among the various groups. ସେମାନେ various group ର justice ଉପରେ concern within their groups. They analyze the policies and protect minority cultural rights and their impact on the group's members. Actually, semane groups member major cultural identity, that minority cultural rights को semane केमती करे respect देवे तार ऊपर semane बेसी मात्रा. So different type of the multicultural policies में gives leaders the minority cultures powers of the decision making and institutionalism practices and internal minorities. There different type of the issues related to the women, that is minority cultural groups like gay, lesbian, bisexuals can be discussed. So this gay, lesbian, bisexual person want to lead a life of the dignity, freedom, and access to the welfare provisions. A variety of the social controls and norms are exercised by minority of the groups to marginalize them. Different type of the social controls and norms are exercised by the minority groups and to marginalize them. So they face hate speech, violence, and psychological harassment also. So ए जगह रे हमें feminist ऊपर भी टिके discussion करिबा. Feminist they argued that most culture in the world are patriarchal. Feminist माने कोन? ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ most of the cultures in the world are patriarchal in nature. पुरुष केंद्रित होते and groups differences rights would be reinforced and strengthened patriarchal practices. जैसे भी differences गुड़ा अच्छी सेटा सब patriarchal practices to strengthen. Polygamy and the female genital are two such examples that go against the women's rights. And there are different type of the cultural groups that engage in the animal slaughtering. Exemptions to them from the state laws and animal cruelty should be excluded. Then all these continue to violence against the all these practices are continue to harm the violence against the animals. And ऊपर किसी डाउट्स अछि कि मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म रो ऊपर or any type of the problem related with this paper. Students बुझी होची सुधा जाउची हां मैम तमर आजी एई पेपर ता तमर सरुची बुझलो ओके मैम ठीक है BPSC-103 तो नेक्स्ट क्लास हमर के होची नेक्स्ट क्लास 23 तारिख रे होची हां तो 23 तारिख रे कोन होबो हम क्लास आरंभ करबी 4:30 रे ठीक है 4:30 रे कारण मोर 3:30 रु 4:30 आ गुटे सेंटर रे हमर सुंदरगढ़ सेंटर रे अछि तरा भी ऑनलाइन क्लास ताकर 4:30 रे सरबो मु तुमको 4:30 रु 5:30 पर्यंत पढेबी हला ठीक अछि मैडम आउ किछि तमे से बिसरा सब लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन ऊपर प्रिपेयर हेबो आउ किछि डाउट जति अछि ए पेपर ऊपर आजि पचारो नेक्स्ट पेपर टा सोशल माने पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेसेस अरे से पेपर टा नेक्स्ट क्लास ले आरंभ करबा 4:30 रे तो एनी प्रॉब्लम्स रिलेटेड विथ दिस पेपर जति किछि अछि देन वी कैन आस्क
मैम कॉस्मोपॉलिटन मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म आप थ्री कोंतु दी
कॉस्मोपॉलिटन मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म ओके कॉस्मोपॉलिटनिज्म माने कोन बुझि पार जति कॉस्मोपॉलिटन माने कोन विश्व कोटा बुझा जाउची सारा माने वर्ल्ड माने नेरो सेंस रेडा कोहा जाउनी इट सेलिब्रेट डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ ईच कल्चर कैन learn from other culture different culture गुड़ा को amor earth रे अछंती तो आमे गोटे कल्चर रु आउ गोटे कल्चर जो खाली घृणा भाव होइबार कथा नुहे आमे गोटे कल्चर रु आउ गोटे कल्चर छडू शिक्षा किछि मात्रा रे शिक्षा पाई पारु छु and all these are men's aims of the self development बुझी पारु छ डिफरेंट कल्चर गुड़ा को अछि से थारु आमे किछि शिक्षा पाइबा कथा आ सदी शिक्षा पाई करी शिक्षा पाला में कोन करबा आमे निजर सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट ठीक भाबरे करि पारबा बिकॉज़ a world wider cultural opportunities and lifestyle choices is cosmopolitan multiculturalism सारा ओभर वर्ल्ड रे केमती कल्चर प्रो पीपल माने अछंती सारा टाइप ऑफ वर्ल्ड रे केमती भाबरे लाइफस्टाइल ता पीपल माने चूज करू छंती तो से थारु आमे कोन करबा इट इंटरेस्टेड एक्सप्लोरेशन ऑफ द डिफरेंट कल्चरल ऑप्शंस यदि किछि कल्चर भितर जणे कोन से जगह रे एक्सप्लोइट करूची से आमे डिफरेंट कल्चर को एक्सप्लोइट करबा डिफरेंट कल्चर को आमे आखि आगे रखि ताको शिक्षा किछि फल शिक्षा पाइबा एंड आमे ताको इंडिविजुअल लेवल रे अप्लाई करबा सो हियर cosmopolitan multiculturalism it embraces the idea of the multiple identity different type of the परिचय को एटा सपोर्ट करूची खाली गोटे परिचय नै डिफरेंट ऑफ द परिचय को सपोर्ट करूची एंड इट्स हाइब्रिडिटी तार आकु बढ़िबा ए कथार अर्थ हला तार आकु बढ़िबाटा because the culture को हमें कोशिश करी करी हमें केमती आगु जीवा so it is argued that though there are different type of the cultural divisions in all over the world different cultural origins people share the same planet different type of the culture को हमें origin हेतिले भी हमें ई planet टा को share करूछु we are living in the same planet and we are experiencing the similar experiences and गोटे चैलेंजेस जदी जण को आसला हम जे प्लैनेट फॉर एग्जांपल ग्लोबल वार्मिंग प्रॉब्लम का चैलेंजेस ता अछि ता कोन गोटे कंट्री गोटे पीपल को बाधा प्राप्त करिवो कि नहीं एक वर्ल्ड रे एक ग्लोब रे जेते सब पीपल माने बसवास करछन ता समस्त को प्रभावित करि पारिबो सो ग्लोबल कॉन्शियसनेस एंड आइडियाज ऑफ द cosmopolitanism is a running thread in this type of the multicultural the main component of the cosmopolitan multiculturalism multiple cultural identity in the globe बुझी हला यानी प्रॉब्लम
आज्ञा मिस
मैडम मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी रेशियल डाइवर्सिटी रे कोन तो
मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी we are living in India कथा में भाबो है
आगे
को विषय तुम पचारलो मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी बेले कोन बुझिबा को चाहूचो
आगे आगे आउडे
मल्टी
डाइवर्सिटी अछि हेलो
हां यस
आगे हेलो
हां सुना जाउची कहो
रेशियल डाइवर्सिटी मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी
हां एति तमर प्रॉब्लम अछि त
आसे जो मॉडल आउडे जो अछि टू टाइप्स ऑफ मल्टी कल्चरल जो दुईटा अछि कि से विषय रे गोटे स्ट्रांग कल्चर सेकंड टाडे कहबे
कोटा कहलो
आउट अछि जो मॉडल ऑफ मल्टी कल्चरल जिमरो जो अछि दीटा पार्ट अछि टू टाइप्स ऑफ मल्टी कल्चर गोटे वाला स्ट्रांग कल्चर तो सेकंड टाडे कहबे तो कोन कहितले मोर नेटवर्क पळिला
two types of the multicultural or types of multiculturalism
आज्ञा मैडम
हाँ
सेटा
गोटे जो रिलीजियस और डाइवर्सिटी हाँ प्रथम तमे जानि पारि नथलो ना तो
आज्ञा
फर्स्ट ना तुमे व्हाट इज मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी एंड व्हाट इज रेशियल डाइवर्सिटी तापरे तमे एटा माने बुझि पारिबो मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी कहले कोन डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ रिलीजन रो डाइवर्सिटी बेले कोन बहुत गुडे इंडिया रे जेंति कि हमें इंडिया टा अछि इंडिया रे डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ लैंग्वेज रो पीपल माने बसवास करूछंती डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ द रेस बेले कोन डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ द जाति कास्ट बेले कास्ट अलगा रेस अलगा
आज्ञा
बुझलो तो कास्ट जो जाति सेटा अलगा बट रेशियल रेस रे पीपल माने डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ सेक्स पीपल्स माने अछन
आनुपातिक भावे बोधे
डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ हाँ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ द लैंग्वेज रो पीपल माने अछंती डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ द माने जेंति कि ऑन द बेसिक्स ऑफ द लैंग्वेज डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ द रेस रिलीजियस रो पीपल माने अछंती तो एई सब को हमें कहूछु मल्टी डाइवर्सिटी हमें फास्ट कोन को इंडिया इज ए मल्टी डाइवर्स कंट्री
आज्ञा
different about the language, different about the caste, different about the race, different about the religions ର people ମାନେ ବସବାସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଉଛି ମଲ୍ଟି ଡାଇଭର୍ସିଟି ଆଉ racial diversity means ତମେ ଏଟା ଗୋଟେ ଏଟା ରେସ୍ ବୋଲି ବି ଆମେ ଜାତି କହିବା ବଟ୍ ଏଇ ଜାତିଟା ଯେମିତି କି ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ବୈଶ୍ୟ କ୍ଷତ୍ରିୟ ଶୂଦ୍ର ସେଇ ଜାତି ନୁହଁ
एटा होची ए जो रिलीजन ऊपर
ରେସ୍ ଟା ରିଲିଜିଅନ କୁହାଯିବ ନାହିଁ ଏବେ ରିଲିଜିଅନ କୁହାଯାଇ ପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ତାକୁ
माने
କଣ ଯାଇ
गैदरिंग
ହଁ
पीपल
ହଁ ଗୋଟେ ରେସ୍ ହଁ ଗୋଟେ ରେସ୍ ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ ଯେମିତି କି ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ ତମେ ଦେଖୁଛ ତମେ କହୁଛୁ ଡାଇଭର୍ସିଟି ଟା ଆର୍ मेनी टाइप्स रिलीजियस डाइवर्सिटी ता बुझी पारलो
आज्ञा
डिफरेंट ड्रेस कोड पीपल माने पिनुचंती डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ द पब्लिक हॉलिडेज माने ऑब्जर्व करूचंती ऑन
डिफरेंट
द
टाइप
बेसिस
ऑफ
ऑफ द रिलीजन
ऑब्जर्वेशन ट्रेडिशंस
हाँ कल्चरल ट्रेडिशन देन लैंग्वेज ता तो बुझी पारुछ डिफरेंट ऑफ द लैंग्वेज का कहउचंती देन ए
आज्ञा
जगह तुम जो रेशियल डाइवर्सिटी कथा जो पचारुछ देन फ्यूड्स एंड टू स्टे इन द राउंडा एटा देखो दुईटा
आज्ञा
सेक्स then it should be mentioned that the race has been limited role in the multicultural discourse then linguistic diversity तो बुझी पारुछ लोकेशंस ऊपर भी तमे एटा तो कहितली यूके रे गुटे स्कॉट पीपल मान अछि माने के नॉर्थ रे ही रहबी ताकर
आज्ञा
किछि प्रॉब्लम नै से माने खाली डिस्टिंग्विश करबा लागि से माने जाकी ताको लोकेशन सारा नॉर्थ रे ही रहबी although their culture is not significantly different from the people's living in other regions
आज्ञा
जेमति कि गोटे जेमति कहाजिबो सेही पीपल माने गोटे हिली एरिया रे ही बसवास करती गोटे
हाँ
सेक्स ऑफ पीपल माने सेही हिली एरिया रे ही बसवास करती ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर लोकेशन ताको अन्य जाकू से माने केबे प्रिफर करिवे ना हला
तांको जगह भितरे से माने तांकर जहां भी तांको भितरे चाले से
आइडेंटिटी टा से माने क्रिएट करबे निजर आइडेंटिटी टा एक्चुअली से माने बेसी मात्रा रे क्रिएट करबे ना तांकर सुना आइडेंटिटी ताको हम चेंज करि पारिबानी हैला Have any problem? Okay, that's all. Thank you. And next class टा 4:30 रे हेबो ठीक मन रखि देबो समस्ते हैला
आज्ञा
मेसेज कर ग्रुप रे कुछ
कोन कहूछ कि any problem?
क्वेश्चन
नो मैम
Okay. Okay, thank you.
थैंक यू
थैंक
मैडम
यू
Thank you, ma'am.
काटी दे